Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I have just entered what is known as the Moneague bypass. The north-south highway runs somewhat parallel to this road at various points. Now, this is a Class B road when compared to the actual north-south highway. I'm going to be stopping and letting you have a look at the actual North Coast Highway in the distance. I'm going to be stepping outside the car just for a minute. Bear with me. Now that's a section of the North Coast Highway in the distance, running parallel to the Moneague, original Moneague bypass, which that direction takes you to Golden Grove, and of course that direction takes you to Moneague. Alright, so there you have it in terms of the general layout on this side. I'll be taking you through some entry and exit points along the route. Alright, so I'm still actually on the Moneague bypass. I've just passed roadside, for those of you who may be familiar with roadside. I am now heading to that area that the road, there was originally a roundabout, well, before they actually created the flyover. In just about 10 to 15 seconds, you'll be seeing it. Now in the distance, you can see some of the works to my left, or to the left of your screen, and straight ahead you're seeing a flyover. Now persons may get confused when they get to this point, but this is really where the original roundabout is, entry point to the highway. It's now converted to a flyover because they actually have an official exit and entry, which I'll show you in another few minutes. Alright, I'm gonna carry on onto the Moneague College because that is where, well, some persons may believe that the road actually has made its intersection with this section of Moneague, the Moneague bypass. But no, it's about 3/4 of a kilometer, about 2/3 of a kilometer from that point. So I'm heading to that section now. The Moneague College is to my right. So those of you who know Moneague College, you will be familiar with the general location of, you know, the flyover there. So that's Moneague College to my right, and I'm giving them some free advert. Alright, as usual. Alright, so I'm heading up to that point now where you take left to go to Ocherius, and that left means that you go through Walker's Wood, Fern Gully, the good old Fern Gully in Jamaica. Yes, that's it. And then we go right to go to Kingston, etc. I'm going to be turning right. Alright, so I've just passed the Moneague entry. There's usually these two gas stations, one on my right, one on my left, which I just passed. And then once you pass these two gas stations, you'd basically be heading now into a little quiet zone where Windalco, I believe, had some cattle milking cows. I've passed through Moneague completely now, and I'm getting to that point where we'll actually be entering a section of the highway. So what I'm driving at here now is a section of the highway where there's an exit and entry. So I'm trying to be very careful here on this narrow strip of road. Good. So we're getting to that point where we'll actually be clocking in. We'll have to be paying at the toll booth, which is in the distance, as you can see, slow 30 km an hour. I'll be making a left. Straight ahead though is a flyover, a bridge. So if you're not exiting in Moneague, you will actually fly over. Alright, But I am entering the highway at this point, and therefore I'll have to be paying my toll. I will pause here for a minute. Well, interestingly, I didn't have to pay today. I got lucky. Apparently they're having a trading session, so I didn't have to pay. Alright, so I am now picking up on a leg of the highway that I probably didn't show you. Well, you saw the previous leg. Alright, so I'm going to just put us on hold just for a moment until I get to that exit in Linstead, where you'll get to understand a little better as it relates to what is happening there, exit entry wise. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am on the original road that I videoed in my initial highway video, but there's an interesting development that I'm seeing that I never showed you. Well, it wasn't here previously, and there is, I am seeing cameras installed on the highway. There's one just up ahead there. There it is. That's a camera on the highway here, right here in Jamaica. What this means, ladies and gentlemen, is that things have really been looking up and changing for the better where management of the roadway is concerned in Jamaica. I have passed at least 2 since I've entered the highway, and I've only driven about 2.5 kilometers. I am about to descend the steep hill that we initially showed you in the previous video, and there goes another camera just at the point where we start to descend. Alright, so things are really in place where this highway and managing the traffic and the flow and safety and everything is concerned. So we are getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. We are going downhill. This area is known to be pretty foggy from time to time, and so it's very important that you approach this hill with caution. It can become foggy, really foggy, because it's quite high up. In fact, sometimes when descending, it looks like you're descending from beyond the clouds. In the distance there to my right, you actually look like you're descending from beyond the clouds. There goes another camera looking at me. It may be catching me videoing this as I drive. Well, it's facing downhill. That one is facing downhill. So all those persons who are accustomed to speeding and breaking the rule of law where the road is concerned, and yeah, be warned, you are being watched. Alright, so just be careful, and don't just be careful now because you know that you're being watched, but be careful wheresoever it is that you drive. Beautiful U-turn in the distance. As per usual, I'm seeing another camera coming up down the hill, and I'm driving pretty smoothly for the minute. Some roadworks ahead. Good traffic management systems in place. Do I need to be in a foreign land? I don't think so. I'm seeing the very same things here that I'm seeing in a foreign land, with all due respect. There goes another camera. There goes another camera managing the traffic. Very good systems, safety features along this roadway. Some drilling taking place there apparently. Alright. Continuing downhill. Another camera. Another camera. Alright, this is a toll booth that I stopped my previous, well, initial video. This one is in Linstead. I'll be paying in short order. I'm in Linstead, so I'm literally in Linstead just now. Toll booth. Alright, so I have just passed through that toll booth. Spanish Town, Portmore, Kingston, straight ahead. And there's a flyover. This exit here would actually, to my left there, would actually allow you to go into Linstead U-turn. So that exit to my left. But I'm staying on the highway, and this leg now it's actually my very first time, and I'm taking you with me on this section of the highway. I've never been on this section before, so bear in mind that to my right and to my left for those of you who are familiar with Linstead, Bogwalk, we're actually bypassing Linstead. There's a section of the roadway that flies over between Linstead, etc., and covers portions of the town that what you are bypassing now. So based on this speed, this signage here, Spanish Town 17, Portmore 29, Kingston 34. Alright, from where I'm at now. And it's pretty free flowing traffic, as you can see. A good steady flow of traffic. Recently opened about a month ago or less, and I think persons are picking up on the advantage of using this route for traveling. Alright, nice 4-lane highway, and of course for the listeners, it is what connects you to the north coast. So in my previous video that showed you that connection point between, oh, and I'm actually flying over, there's a blinding wall there that, you know, yeah, Linstead to my right, sections of the town of Linstead. So I'm basically flying over Linstead. There's a bridge just beneath me. For those of you who know the original entry point to Linstead from on the normal road, the Class B road, that is. Right, so back to what I was saying, it really is the same road here that connects you to the north coast, that section in Ocherius. So if you had watched my previous video, you'd have seen where I showed it between Ocherius, well, Duns River and Draxhall, where the highway makes connection. So I'm flowing pretty steadily, and as was mentioned, the distance to Spanish Town, Portmore and Kingston, well, I'm heading to Kingston. I doubt that I'll take you all the way. I think I'll take you to the point where it actually exits onto the Spanish Town Road. For those of you who know Ferry Police Station, yeah, it exits just along that roadway there. And we have quite a few flyovers. As you can imagine, there are adjoining districts, communities on either sides of the highway. Pretty good going so far. Yeah. I have not been on this section before, so I'll have to take the shots as they come. I'll just give you a good heads up of what it looks like. I hope my video is doing some justice in terms of creating an awareness of where and what is happening. As you can see, the tarmac is pretty green in that it's dark and lovely. Hasn't even been burnt by the sun just yet. I'll sway my camera away from these folks just for their privacy. Alright, some works going on. Alright, good. Alright, good. And of course, if you know True Juice, wow, you're gonna have a beautiful sight of True Juice. The orange fields to my left, and those of you who would be familiar with driving through Barry, you'd normally be driving through the True Juice orange farm field, etc. And I'm giving these folks some free advertisement, alright, while I use their names in my video. It's not for any derogatory means, because they're actually getting a nice view of their farm, both to my right and to my left. Alright, so there you have it. Jamaica has come a long way. I would that the management of our, and that's where we're going. That's where we're going. I would that the management of our country would be as excellent as this highway has been thus far in terms of our country's development. Right, and I say no more on that. Elections are over. And as you know, I'm neither green nor am I orange, though I'm looking at the orange fields to my left and the cane fields to my right.